Scene. You're at your grandma's. Your grandparents are sitting in the kitchen. For some reason, it has a screen door that gets used as the front door. At night, Suprise gently catches you as you're lounging on the couch, playing Pokemon on your Game Boy. PBS is gently playing in the background, but you don't pay it any mind, because you're engrossed in leveling up your party. You're having a grand old time, fighting a gym boss that your prepubescent mind plans for. You talk to other fellow trainers, read strategy guides, and or watch YouTube videos when all of a sudden...
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
You hear the theme and immediately look up. You see him, Arthur, having a grand old time, skipping on the sidewalk. You immediately stop and dart towards the TV, singing the theme song with the unknown Jamaican men with glee, ready for the adventure you're about to partake in. Now, some of you might know why I laid that scene out for you. As you can see, Arthur is indeed ending after 25 seasons. To stay relevant after so many generations have grown past the need for Arthur, albeit a little help from memes, just shows the type of staying power that Arthur has. Plus, not like me the bad, if anything, it's informative and endearing. And I know that you are just as curious as I am to see the end of Arthur. Did they do it justice? Let's find out. Alright, so I was not expecting 3 episodes to drop. I was under the impression that we would watch 1 and that would be it. I mean, I guess I'm reviewing 3. If you want to watch these episodes for yourself, as well as all 25 seasons of Arthur, you can do so either on TV or pbskids.org. The class is a job raffle, and Binky is selected as an editor. Francine is being disrespectful and says the job would be wasted on Binky. Wasn't this man a bully back in the day? I know Binky would not take this. He should slap Binky gets bored at the job and can't focus because it's not exciting enough for him. A journalist helps Binky out by talking to him, telling him that a job isn't always exciting. As they're talking, Binky opens up about what he wants to write about, and he particularly says wrestling. The talk helps, and Binky goes to the boardroom to help edit an article for the paper. While Binky is editing, he dreams up a wrestling match between the pen and paper. Now, as a wrestling fan, I gotta say, I like the spear off the top rope and the springboard backflip coup de grace. I know I butchered that. Relax, I don't speak French. Shoot, speaking of French, my bad, I got sidetracked. You know, some people would say there's too much flippy shit here, but if they were in the Tokyo Dome, I'm sure Dave Meltzer would have gave them 5 stars.
We worked on that sentence for half an hour.
Nigga, what? It took you half an hour to do a sentence? I know they're kids, but there's no way a sentence takes half an hour. He tells them about how he helped edit, and Francine says,
I guess you got the right job after all.
Man, what? You were the main op this whole episode. How are you gonna say that after... Whatever, just move on. And of course, Arthur and the W are bitching. They always do. But back to this man. Who are you? Bud Compson? Whose band is this? He sounds like a Bud too.
I'm showing DW how to make the Bud Compson.
Instead of eating peanut butter and strawberry sandwiches, he should be fighting his brother in a dirt pit with all the other definitely not bad Southern folk, cheering them on. I wonder if it's healthy to eat peanut butter and strawberries instead of jelly. Like it probably is, because there's a lot of sugar in the preservative or whatever the fuck jelly is. I don't know what it is. Like, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Yeah, that can add up for sure. But it's sad that DW didn't eat his sandwich he made, so he wants to help their problems. Particularly if Arthur stole DW's snowball or something. Honestly, I don't care. I'm skipping over this. George is going with his mom to a party with adults. He's dreading the fact that he has to converse with adults, and he's trying to figure out how to do that. Arthur and the gang are the first people he talks to, looking for help with his situation. They start touching his antlers, on Black History Month, mind you. I mean, they got consent to, but don't crowd the man. He goes to more kids asking how to talk to adults, and they say either adults don't know how to talk to children, or you just have to ask questions. He tries to conversate with adults he's around, but isn't having any luck. Bad dreams ensue, seemingly sealing his fate for tomorrow. The day of the party is here, and it starts off just like all the other conversations before this. Awkward. Defeated, George goes to the other room to wait the party out, when all of a sudden someone comes in. They apologize to each other and reveal that parties aren't a strong suit of theirs. They talk about their interest in comedy, George with puppets and the old guy with silent films. The conversation flows naturally, and before George knows it, the party's over. Muffy wants to go to fake E3. They go out to try to find the convention center until all of a sudden it starts to rain. They meet up with George, who's going to the movies, and take shelter there. We see the old guy from the park. Wait a minute. Arthur has continuity? Good for them. Anyways, a silent film starts to play, and the gang just sits there and reacts to their lookalikes. Shows over there and learn that old isn't bad. The episode starts off with Francine getting a makeover. Respect to them for also keeping the older technology like flip phones around. Although the previous episode had Muffy with an iPad, so take that how you will. But for real though, Shawty gave it a baby bop. That shit's tragic.
Is everything okay? Okay. What is it? I don't know. She just said she has something important to tell me.
Motherfucker, I apologize for my outburst.
The gang gets wind of her loss, and Muffy tries the most to help her, but only in her way, like pampering and exclusive events. Well, exclusive enough for kids. Francine feels overwhelmed and not heard, so she starts avoiding Muffy. This comes to heed when Francine is leaving the ice cream shop after talking to George. Muffy feels confused as to why Francine is avoiding her, so George helps Muffy. They talk about how listening goes a long way, and the difference between empathy and sympathy. Muffy goes to apologize and give Francine the photo of her grandma. Arthur's family is going on vacation. He's bored of going on the same vacation to Cod Pocket, so he wants something different. Arthur hears about Dead Man's Cove, a theme park that he's never been to, so he tries to convince the family to change plans. Unfortunately, the theme park closes down before the vacation, leaving Cod Pocket as the only option. While there, he stalks with Buster a bit until they find a new game to play. They make up a new game on the spot and have a good time. Alright, this is it. The final episode. This is what we've been waiting for the whole time. This one episode that... Wait a minute. What is this? Blabbermouth? Man, skip this shit. We gotta skip it, bro. There ain't no way. Oh god, not that. I'm talking about an actual good show. The story starts with Arthur checking out a book that he didn't want. He realizes this and goes back to return it with the game. He's at the library trying to check the book out when... Wait a minute. Wait 1 goddamn minute. Who is that? Why does he look so weird? Further humanizing these anthropomorphic animals is blasphemy, and I will not stand for this. Why do the people in this universe look more human than animal, and some look more animal than human? Why are some of these animals actual animals? Arthur's here in the library returning a book that has actual animals in it. That doesn't make evolutionary sense. How are they able to all coexist? Sure, humans and Neanderthals were living together at one point, but... Wait a minute. Is that what the show was trying to tell us this whole time? Did we blow our only chance at harmony? Is this why all these terrible things are happening in the world? Because we eradicated the yin to our yang? This is it. We'll never reach nirvana. Nothing matters anymore. So, wait. No. I've overlooked a very important part of humanity. A group that has been here since words were written in stone. A group that has been in the shadows, slowly restoring balance to this wretched world. How can we be so foolish? We have to correct ourselves. This might be our last chance in living in the true utopian society. We must make amends before it's too late. Before a war is waged and we plunge into darkness once more. I have to apologize. And I hope you all will too. You can use this video as an apology if you like. I don't claim to speak for everyone, but this is a dire situation that needs to be corrected as soon as possible. First, I'm sorry. On behalf of all the people that wants to be represented, I am truly sorry. We knew not the catastrophic mistake that we were making, and I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive us. So they go try to find the librarian. They venture to the back when they suddenly come across a board game. Oh God! That's Cthulhu! Another reminder of human shortcomings. Oh God, it's never ending. This thing that we brought upon ourselves is never ending. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna... They start playing the board game, each learning what their future will be. Muffy learns that she will be a politician. Francine learns that she will be a businesswoman. Baxter learns that he will be a teacher. And last but not least, Arthur learns that he will be... Well, the machine cuts off on him, but we can all figure out what he'll be. They go back to the front of the library where the old man is, and he tells Arthur something. He tells him that he should hold on to the book and explore it, because it has interesting drawings in it. Arthur agrees and heads out. Cthulhu Rises, and we flash forward 20 years. We see various townfolk in the ice cream shop, where some familiar faces have jobs in and around it. They all meet with Arthur, who I'm assuming is showing what he made. The main cast pretty much get the jobs the board game said they would, but tailored to their personalities. They all meet with Arthur, who I'm assuming is showing what he made. They gather around and see that Arthur has made a graphic novel about his life. The same one that we have been following with along for 25 years. Alright, so final thoughts for this thing. It was cool. It was cool. I was not expecting to do 3 episodes or 3 full-length episodes, but it came out nice. If anything, it was better that they did that, because it reminded me of what Arthur actually was. Seeing that last episode didn't really remind me like some of the other ones, because the other ones had actual things you would learn in it. Like, for example, Listen Up. Let me tell y'all about Listen Up, man. That, I know the pacing was crazy this video, but Listen Up, I would say that everybody needs to watch that one. Because what Listen Up was talking about is basically listening to someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, Muffy wasn't listening to her. She wasn't listening to Francine. All she was doing was trying to put what she thought she needed. Or put, you know what I'm saying? Like, that definitely is something that everyone should watch. But besides that, everything was cool. I mean, the animation was jarring. Seeing that 60 frames, possibly, flash animation just threw me off. You know, I'm just used to the old hand drawn style. But you know, besides that, everything is cool. So well, you know, that's the end of the video. I appreciate y'all watching. If you liked what you see, stick around, man. And I'll have more on the way. See you later.